Hello and welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly, an in-depth look at Cuesta College athletics. I'm Peter SCHULER, and on this month's show, we'll take a quick look at track and field, swimming, and just before we go, we'll meet with former aquatics athlete and alumni and entrepreneur Rhett Williams. So right now on Cuesta Sports Monthly, I'd like to welcome Jacob Franklin and Emily Darin. So,
hello.
Hi. How you guys doing?
Good.
Track and field's just getting off. You got your first 2 meets under the way, but this week coming up, you have your first scoring meet. This is where it actually counts because you have the Western State Conference North meet, where you have to travel south to, and down to Ventura. So, Jacob, sophomore this year. What do you see as your transitions from last year, and how's the team looking this year?
So, I'm just going for better marks this year, and just trying to get to the next level, and the team's doing real good this year. The sprinters have been pretty consistent, and the throwers pretty consistent as well. And distance, I'm not too sure. I'm a field athlete, so can't really tell you that much on their part. But yeah, it's been a good year. I'm just looking for better marks and consistent all around.
Now, do you have a goal set for yourself at the end of the year? Like, yeah. I want to make state. I want to place at state.
Definitely winning state would be the goal.
Emily, how about the women's team? How's it going out there? Now, you've been out a little bit with injuries. But
yes, for the last 2 weeks. But before that, we looked really, really good. I think you should expect something really great to come out of the team. I think we've got something in the works.
Now, you're a first-year track athlete.
Yes.
Have you been involved with track before this season?
No.
Okay.
This is my first time at track, yes.
Now, I know you're kind of a fish, and you actually played water polo here
Yes.
and redshirted in swimming.
Yes.
So what is kind of the changes for you going from the sea to the land?
I really enjoy both things, but I think there are big differences in terms of training and how you train together and where you are. But for my event, for javelin, it's been pretty similar to water polo. You're throwing. And you're throwing, so you're both throwing. But overall, I think that it's been really helpful to have the aquatic background because swimming is an individual sport, and then if you go into track, it's also more individual, so you have that background ability.
How about you, Jacob? How did you get into throwing? I know Paso seems like a lot of our throwers are from Paso. Is that a high school thing, or?
Yeah, it's sort of just the area type thing. Yeah, I started off in middle school, actually. I started in the 6th grade. And I started as a sprinter and a distance runner, and I was also a jumper. So I started off with that, and then they said, try so I was like, what is that over there? And they were like, those are the throws. And I was like, I want to go do that. They're like, no, you probably can't. And I was like, no, I can, and I want to go do that. And I did. And then so I got started like that, and I started throwing shot put and discus in middle school. And then I kind of went into high school and started bulking up a lot more, and then just progressed to the point where I was able to put up some big marks.
Now, have you always been focused on track, or have you done what other sports have you done?
So I did football. I did football for a long time, actually, from the time I was in 4th grade to sophomore year. And after sophomore year, I realized I was pretty good at track, so I was like, I'm gonna go full time with this. And so after that, I kind of just kept going and did that the whole year, and then it was just what I wanted to do, and it became just an everyday thing for me, and I started to love it.
So you said you're football, then you said you also ran a little bit before you discovered throwing things.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't seen you guys, but you guys ever have to get back out of the track and do the throwers relay or any of that stuff?
Not anymore. They don't really risk the injury anymore.
That's so cool. You should try that.
No, thanks.
Now, Emily's in her first year of track, but she's doing the javelin. California high school doesn't have the javelin. Was that a transition for you, or are you just more comfortable with the other 3 events?
Yeah, it was actually really cool. I went to college, and I really was excited to try javelin because I have very flexible shoulders, and they always told me that my frame was perfect for it. And it was like they hyped me up for it, and then I wanted to do it, and I did it, and it was a lot of fun. It was the most fun event that I ever did. And I'll always have an appreciation for discus and shot put, but javelin is my main now, and beautiful. It's an amazing event.
Is this more straightforward? You don't want the spinning around, or is it?
No, it's just the feeling of chucking a spear. You know,
it's primal.
Yeah,
kind of a primal feeling.
It's pretty awesome. You feel great while you're doing it, and it's pretty cool.
Now, javelin, kind of the same thing for you. I mean, we talked about it before you went out there, but that was kind of like your natural throwing motion.
Yeah.
It looked like it would work for that.
Yeah, we did a lot of different jumping around. We did some like jumping, and then I dabbled in hurdles. Still dabble in hurdles.
Videos, so,
and then they gave me the stick, and then I just started chucking it, and turned out to be all right. So, but when you're having a bad day, there's nothing better than going out and, you know, they put a pole out there with a hat on it, and you just got to throw it at it and try and hit the hat. So nothing better than that.
So it really is like you're throwing a spear at a person because there's a hat on it now. Okay.
It's really fun.
Now, have you been doing any of the hurdles as well, or is that something you're going to go back into and kind of do multi-events?
Once I get back, so I'll be doing hurdles and javelin this year. So the 100-meter and then just javelin. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go away a little bit and just talk about some of the team dynamic. I want to get back to that a little bit. You know, there seems to be the throwers, the sprinters, the distance guys, the jumpers. There's all the multi-sport athletes. The pole vaulters are their own little group.
Yeah.
Now, when you guys all get in the big van and stuff like that, what's kind of that team dynamic? How does that work in there? Is it just kind of like, is it one team? I know that's a slogan, but it just seems like there's so many groups that are so diverse. How does that work?
It really is. Like, we all get along pretty well. I wouldn't say there's really much team drama in essence, but it's like we know what we're trying to do and we get it done. And we all understand that it's an individual sport, but we all love each other as well, and it's awesome. And within the van and within the bus and stuff, it's just, we like each other. I think everyone likes each other, and everyone really appreciates everyone else that's on the team.
Now, what about for you? The differences between swimming, the swimming social atmosphere out there for swimming, where you guys are just chasing the black line back and forth, and now you get, like with throwing, it's like, okay, I throw, and there's a wait. There's a wait. I mean, we can see sometimes it takes a while for you guys back up, and you know.
But I think there's a lot of bonding that actually happens on the field and during practice. Swimming, I don't really get to talk to a lot of people unless you're on the wall.
More like I mean,
you're cheering people.
Okay.
But on track and field, you're cheering people on. Even during practice, you're like, hey, that run really hurt, but like, and you're commiserating together, or you're really happy that you just made a really good marker. When I throw, sometimes I jump up and down and I get really excited, and Jacob just starts laughing at me, and I'm like, I've never done that before. But it's like fun. You're all supporting each other.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, what's the future for you hold for you?
So I've actually committed to music now, so I'm not going to be continuing with track, but that's I was going to continue at Cal Poly with track, but it's kind of been a strange transition within the music, and it's like I will always have an appreciation for it, and I will always miss it, but.
Well, hopefully you're not one of those musicians who throws his instruments on stage. That would be kind of.
Oh no.
But I did have it down there. I was going to ask you about your singer-songwriter, but now, and what's up for you?
College.
All right, back into it. Staying with marine biology.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good luck the rest of the way. Good luck for track.
Yeah.
That's the season for you guys. I'd like to come out there and see you guys when you're out there throwing. We do have one home meet, so hopefully the weather will hold for us. Definitely. So that does it here on Cuesta Sports Monthly with Track and Field. We'd like to thank Jacob Franklin and Emily Darin for joining us. And when we come up next, we'll be joined with swimmers Mason Smith and Sophia Terry.
This program is produced by Cuesta Broadcasting. Start your radio, TV, and film career at Cuesta College.
Hello and welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'm Peter Schuler, and now it's swimming on Cuesta Sports Monthly. I'm joined by Mason Smith and Sophia Terry. So, Terry, welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly. You guys have been out in the water. You're still off campus. How's it? a whole year off campus. How are you guys dealing with that?
I mean, it's it's a bit of a drive, but you kind of get used to it. You plan your life around it. It's kind of whatever now. There's no point complaining in something that's not going to change.
Yeah,
so.
for both of you, your sophomore year has been basically at Morro Bay High School.
Yeah.
And a Royal Grande High School a little bit in the fall. Now, do you think that's affected your training a little bit, or you guys feel like you're getting the workout you need out there?
For water polo, it definitely did. Last year we were able to do like Tuesday, Thursday mornings. We were able to do 6-on-5s for 2 hours. So I feel like that kind of definitely affected that aspect a little bit, and we were kind of missing those 2-a-day trainings that we were able to have last year. But I think we kind of adjusted well to the situation.
Now, Coach Marsh is hopeful that you guys will get back on campus here this spring before so you can get some mileage in before conference. But how do you guys feel? I know, Mason, this is your second year. How are you feeling about swimming right now?
I feel good. Just working together as a team, relying on everyone else to push me. So.
Now, you kind of do all events. You kind of do all events. You guys both had a pretty good swim meet at the first time at the WC relays. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling about this year? What do you think about the rest of the team?
I mean, the rest of the team's been doing pretty good. I myself was very surprised at my times. I went a lot faster than I was expecting to. So that's super exciting, and I think everybody is excited to see the results because they've put in a lot of work, especially with the driving.
Yeah, talk about your transition. I mean, last year when you kind of made the relays for state and you made the conference, you did all your events on one day at conference,
yeah.
And made it state, and your numbers just kept on dropping and dropping and dropping. What was kind of the thing? Were you? I don't remember you as being the fast kid, but all of a sudden now you're the fast kid. So.
Well, I think last year swimming was important, but I think it's taken on it's more important this year to me. Last year I was focusing a lot on work and I was focusing on school. It was my first year in college, but this year I feel like I've kind of figured my life out a little bit. So I've been able to focus more on swimming, and so it's shown in my events.
Now, Mason, you've been here for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. You redshirted your first year in water polo, so this is your second year in swimming, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of the transitions for you as an athlete have happened over those 2 years?
I just got in better shape. I came in and I was not in the best shape, but Coach Marsh just kind of kept pushing me, just kept telling me to just trust what he has me do. So
now you're a rarity here on campus because you're a water polo player from Bakersfield.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you came in your redshirt year. We had Chandler Mankins, who was a returning All-State goalie, and so we redshirted you, and then Mankins is now at UCI in play. Mm-hmm. You came in this year and made All-State. So. From Bakersfield. So talk about that transition right there. I think that's one of the most fascinating things because everybody came in, Bakersfield's not known for water polo, but Garza's has had some pretty good teams where you were. So kind of talk about how that transition is and what does that mean, Bakersfield water polo, to have you do that well.
It was really nice, actually, transitioning. I played for 9-10 years in Bakersfield, and I played with some really good teammates there, but I came in and Chandler just he took me under his wing, and really, I still talk to him daily. So he's one of my best friends. So he kind of took me under his wing and just kind of really showed me the ways, didn't lead me into a bad path. So he's like, if you just trust what Marsh has you do, you're going to do good. So I took that this year and I was like, I'm going to take it and run almost. So.
Now Chandler's a great guy to have as leadership. He's a guy who's done so much. I mean, he's a little bit older than everybody else anyways, and he's had a lot of experiences going on his Mormon mission for 2 years.
Yeah.
So when you go back to Bakersfield and you say, hey, I'm an All-State guy, or when it shows up in the Bakersfield Californian that you were the All-State guy, does that mean anything, or you just not go back to Bakersfield right now?
I go back, but I pretty much just go back for the food.
Now, this year for water polo, the men's water polo championship tournament was in Bakersfield, and then this year we're also doing the 41st Cuesta Invitational is going to have to be held there because we don't have the facilities here. So what's it like when you go back there? Does the family just roll out the carpet for you, or
well,
conquering hero returns? Is that?
Yeah, it's almost like having home pool advantage for me at least. But last year was really nice because we had conference there, and my family had the whole team over the Thursday night or the Wednesday night before conference, and we had a big barbecue, and that was fun. And then this year for for our big the Cuesta 1 tournament, we had the team over 2 nights in a row. So it was really nice for to have that for my family to be able to have us all there.
Do
And
they own a restaurant?
no, they don't. But my mom's a really good cook. So.
Now, Terry, you're here. You're a local kid out of San Luis High School.
Yes.
So that was kind of what was it that you knew you were just going to go to Cuesta right away? I know you weren't expecting to play right away.
No,
Somebody had to call you.
That's true. Yeah, I do remember that call on the way to Disneyland there, and you were just like, "You're playing." Well, no, I am pre-nursing, so a lot of nursing schools, they're really hard to get into nowadays. So when I didn't get into my first choice, I decided to come here and do some prereqs for a couple of years, and kind of get an edge when applying to nursing school, I guess.
Now, are you looking to transfer after this year and move on, or are you going to try and stay here at Cuesta? Or?
I did apply this year, but nursing schools tell you not to get in the first time you apply, so I'm keeping an open mind. I will most likely be here for another year, but hoping, fingers crossed, applications are in.
Now, what about you, Mason? What are your plans after this season? Are you going to come back for fall and use your second
I'll be back in
year?
the fall, and I'll play water polo. I'll be here for at least the fall. I still have a few more classes to get through. I plan on being out here by next spring. I've showed a little bit of interest in Irvine, George Washington, some of those a couple of more East Coast schools and stuff. So that's my kind of plan right now.
Now that you kind of expanded from Bakersfield to San Luis Obispo, now you want to kind of branch
Expand
out
more,
and go a little bit more maybe back east, just so you think.
Yeah, it's
All right.
traditionally they have good academics, so it makes it nice.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the swim team and what kind of your role is going to be this year. Where do you see yourself? Are you going to be doing medley relays? Are you going to be more freestyle? What's kind of your event, and what do you expect to do this season?
I would say my event is either the 100 backstroke or the 200 IM. Freestyle is a very competitive event, so if you don't excel in it, even if you're just average, so many people do it that it's hard to be in the top for that event. So I'd probably say those, and then the backstroke 50 and the 200 IM relay.
Now, both of you guys are kind of complete swimmers, where you can do all 4 events well,
Mm-hmm.
and so by having you're a good freestyler, but to have that swimming and all the events can kind of sneak in there. How about you?
I'm going to swim whatever Marsh tells me to swim. But ideally, I swim the 400 IM. I swim the 200 fly. So
Those are not the most popular events.
no, they're not. I think it's kind of an odd event. You wanted to sprint on the 4 IM, but you can't because you still have 300 more yards after the fly. So it's you just got to make it through the fly, and then you just survive the rest.
Is the backstroke the easiest because you get to actually have air the whole time, or?
No, actually the fly is the easiest. Yeah, you get a nice start, and it makes it just that much easier.
Yeah, once you get in that rhythm, you're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mason, Terry, thank you very much for joining us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly, and good luck to you both the rest of the way. That does it for swimming here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. When we come back, we'll meet with Cuesta alumni Rhett Williams here on Cuesta Sports Monthly.
Cuesta.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communications. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communications.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Cuesta College right now. Log on to Cuesta.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't get the boom in the shot. Blowing it, bro.
Cuesta.edu.
I have Rhett Williams back on campus. Rhett's a former alumni here at Cuesta College and an aquatics athlete. So, Rhett, welcome back to Cuesta College, and just want to see a little bit how you're doing. I know you're doing into a lot of things, kind of a up and coming entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So what's new on Rhett Williams?
Well, hey, thank you very much for having me back on campus. I wasn't sure if I was allowed back on this campus. after I
There's a
left.
couple of things we were worried about, but let's. They won't see this video for
Had
a
to
while.
clear up some parking tickets to even park, so we're good. Now we're good to go. No, but yeah, I'm really happy to be back here. I always have a love for this school and the athleticism of the different programs too. So but yeah.
Now you came to Cuesta. You played water polo and swam. What were some of the things that you brought into the business area that you've learned here from water polo and those type of things?
Oh, I would say from the water polo, the work ethic, getting up early, working, and being very structured. That transcended all the way through all business, through school, and now into my own business, and with my interns that I kind of mentor and through the daily life. So yeah.
Now you came out here to Cuesta College and then moved back to the Central Valley, Fresno, Clovis.
Yeah.
And your family's an agricultural family. Tell me a little bit about your family's background and how that transferred into your new business.
Yeah, so real quick here, like 10 seconds. I started a brewery in the Central Valley called 559 Beer. I brought some, but it's empty, so we're good to go. So it's legal on campus. But yeah, so my family always came to this area since the 50s, so it was only natural to come to school here and then partake in water polo and swimming, and that's how we met and stuff. My family's been growing sun-made raisins or grapes to turn into raisins for about 100 years now. So I take those agricultural products and put it into the beers, from peaches to raisins to figs to all different types. And now I have some of the water polo guys working at my place, and that's been pretty cool to see individuals develop and keeping those interns in contact and watching them develop professionally and personally as well too.
Now, is that something you kind of looked for? Is that just something that happened? Like Rhett's a water polo player, maybe somebody else would be a water polo player, or when somebody applies and they're a college athlete, is that something that you kind of weigh heavily with?
Yeah, I definitely look into that. That's funny. I got a couple resumes today from like Fresno State and some other schools. I teach at Reedley College now, fermentation science, and when I'm looking for some of the interns, I look for that in somebody. Look for the whole character and the whole person, academically, personally, giving back, and then also academics and athletics. Because if they're involved in the sport, they mean they have time discipline and they understand the hard work ethic to get to a goal.
Now, one of the goals you've had was to make your business successfully, and you also kind of incorporated all the agricultural stuff into your beers. But now you've kind of transitioned. Now you're doing the giving back part a little bit.
Yeah.
Talk about it. You've now become a professor.
Yeah.
And kind of
You
how
can't
that's
say
going.
with a straight face, Pete.
I know I
It's
can't.
so
It's very
great.
difficult. I've known you too long.
I know, right? Like, it's been really cool. I never thought I would be in the academia world of things. To be honest with you, like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but it kind of just happened. I always wanted to start something to like teach how to make beer, and from there I've had interns at Fresno State and I've had a really good success with it, and some of them and I are still in contact. One lives in Texas now, and a couple in Arizona and stuff, but from there I saw a need for my company and other companies that needed to have trained employees, and it was very hard to find those employees in the workforce because there's really no actual professional development in this field. So that's when I approached Reedley College and we talked about it, and it was a super crazy idea, right? Why teach beer making in college? That's the craziest thing. But fast forward now today, I have a 21-year-old to 75-year-old in my class. So it's very broad spectrum of the community. And it's been awesome to bring those into the company now. And those are some of my best employees, are the college athletes. They show up on time. They're a yes sir, no sir, how high can I jump to accomplish the goal and do extra projects.
Now, when you're at Reedley and doing those type of things, do you see this expanding? I mean, do they call you Professor, Mr. Williams, or are you like Brewmeister Williams? How are you?
I think it's the
dressed?
clientele, right? No, I'm very goofy and fun. I don't know. So I try to keep it very fun like that. But there is that point where it is Professor Williams, and you can't even. You're smiling right now. It's crazy. I know, right? So with that said, I am trying to reach out to other schools and I'm really hoping that I can do it here at my old school here at Cuesta, because I feel I'm here a few times a month consulting for other companies, and those companies can't find quality interns. And it's not just making beer, it's also the business behind it, the marketing, the sales, the graphic design, the analytics, statistics.
So you can actually be looking at different people from different, disciplines other than just brewing. You need people in the
business side, even like film and television. There's a lot of aspects that can be covered within this business that you can learn a lot from. It's a very fascinating big business behind the beer scenes. But yeah.
Now you took a lot of business classes. We always talk about one of your business professors you had here at Cuesta, and how much of that, I know you had the family business, you had the ideas there, but that was kind of a key for you to take those business classes here at Cuesta College.
Yeah, I took them and I learned a lot, from business law to econ. Shout out to Mr. Higgins or Professor Higgins, Neil. We're still in contact today. And it's the coolest thing when you can reach out to an old professor and talk to them about, hey, what do you think about this crazy idea? And they're going to give you an unbiased opinion on what they think. And it's great to have those resources to feel that you can contact them openly and not feel you're going to get an opinion that's to make you feel better. You're going to get an unbiased opinion on what they think.
So Cuesta College is not just your 2 years here, but you would always use this as a resource for you.
Oh, totally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even you, Pete.
Even me. Well, what were some of the things that you were looking forward to now? What were some of your new varietals? I know you started off with the raisins. You've done great, peach and other things. What's kind of the exciting thing? What's making it exciting for you now?
Making the Questonian.
The Questonian is your new...
Pete almost lost it. This is great. Named after all the water polo practices. No, the new ones I'm coming up with, I'm working with a couple wineries in this area. So we're infusing beer and wine together. And I think that's a great product because there's over 200 wineries, over a few dozen breweries here. And there's some really great resources we can have in this area to blend. And also in the valley too. So we're working on some different hybrid beers and wines together and spirits.
So, one of the things, just kind of a unique situation for you, and that's kind of what I wanted you on this, because you're one of our water polo players, one of our standouts, and then you also have this unique thing where you're working, and you're still working with the colleges, and you're working with the student athletes. So, do you see this your kind of your model here moving on? We have some small breweries in town. Would that be something they should look to too?
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm always pushing for that. In this day and age, you can't be doing one thing. You have to have your hands in multiple things, but you have to be focused on a certain segment of those things to be successful at it. And that's what I hope that kids and young adults, I should say young adults, will learn now in school, is that, except for, the simple CPA, lawyer type of things, but there's opportunities in a lot of different fields. I mean, I'm in real estate development to the brewery to R&D for other companies, and then I teach. And it all comes back to full circle of Cuesta.
Oh. Rhett, thank you very much for joining us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. That does it for Cuesta Sports Monthly today. We'd like to thank our guests, Jacob Franklin and Emily Darin from track, and Sophia Terry and Mason Smith from swimming. Thank you very much for joining us here on Cuesta Sports Monthly. We'll see you next month.